a bi-monthly, or no, a bi-weekly release for the last like couple of months, I guess. So they can like get back to a point where like the comic is like relatively far ahead of the show because the show is catching up pretty quickly.
Oh, is it?
That's what I've heard. Yeah, for the last couple of months or so, they've been putting out like 2 issues a month.
Well, they'll be in a Dragon Ball Z situation where they'll have to like have big episodes of filler and wait for the comic to come out. I was under
Yeah,
the
I mean, honestly, they were doing that in season two, having just huge episodes of filler where nothing happens. And you get to the end, and you're like, oh, that entire thing was fruitless.
Hmm. I didn't really care for the TV show, but at the time it was, oh god damn it. It was time at the time it was kind of because I was a comic fanboy, but now I can't stand the comic. It's just the same thing over and over.
Yeah, it's like I don't know, like you know what? There are moments of the Walking Dead TV show that are really like that are super like compelling and like chilling or moving or whatever, and then there's a lot of it where you're just like, man, I don't know why you thought that this was a good thing to write or that this would be a good story development because it is dumb and it makes no sense, and I just don't know who greenlit this because it's a dumb move. Like that's half of my experience with The Walking Dead is questioning who on earth allowed you to write this, and then who on earth looked it over and said, "Yeah, we should film this." It makes sense.
Yeah,
No.
I mean the governor character, that whole arc already happened in the TV show, right?
It not only did it happen, but they actually in the episode where they should have killed that character, they let him get out alive, and they had less deaths in general, and they brought him back and drug him out for another few episodes where they kept toying with the idea of like Rick, we're gonna have to kill that dude, and then they finally did it.
Yeah, he in the comic book, the governor. Spoilers, if you don't want to hear Walking Dead comic book spoilers. In the comic book, the governor like raids the prison with like a tank,
Yeah,
and he kills one character and their child, and then
yeah.
another one of the governor's like soldiers just kills him because they killed a baby and they feel bad, and that's how the governor's story ends in the comic.
Yeah. I actually, because I follow the thread a little bit on Gaff when the show airs weekly. Usually the comments in there are pretty funny. But people will post spoilers in there of like stuff that happens in the comic books. And I don't plan to read the comics. I have no interest in them at all.
Yeah, I
So I'll
don't.
read the spoilers. So I knew that was how that arc ended in the books, was that they raid the prison. And that happens in the show. He shows up to the tank and they raid the prison, and it's super harrowing, and you're like, like if you have that context, you're like, oh man, this has got to be so messed up. They're totally like bombing the prison. Like the effects are really cool because like the effects work on the show is like the best part of it is the effects work, even though it's getting to the point where it's really like torture porny and just kind of like gore porny. Like they're taking things way too far. But all the effects work is great. So it's super convincing. It's really scary. It's thrilling. And then yeah, baby doesn't get killed. Governor makes it out alive. There's basically I don't even remember who died in that episode when they do raid the prison. But I know they raid the prison. They eventually clear the prison pretty much, and then the dude finally shows up again, and then they finally have their thing, and he lays into an old guy's neck with a samurai sword, and it's pretty dumb, and then he gets shot.
Oh, 42 gamers here, and he can actually log in. Um, yeah, I forgot about the game. He just said the only thing he's experienced is the Telltale video game.
Yeah,
which
that is
which is also not very good anymore, in my opinion. Second season started out promising, but it's just kind of weird. Like, I think I know it's the apocalypse, and I know Clementine. Clementine's a kid that's grown up in the apocalypse, and not to take anything away from her as like a strong character, but like it is kind of like weird how all the adults like consult a little kid to do like half the things they do in that.
yeah.
It's like,
oh, this
what
doesn't
do you
make
think we
sense.
should do, Clementine? It's like four adults are asking like a 9-year-old kid like what they should do. Like,
That doesn't make sense. You guys, you can't. I know you want to. I know people want to latch on to Clementine as this awesome character, and that's cool. But good writing would have had her in actually credible situations, like being awesome inside of credible situations, and people like four adults consulting you like a pack of ninnies about what to do next is not credible.
Yeah, it's pretty silly.
I haven't played Walking Dead season 2, but just like I can say just as a concept, like on paper before you even start writing your script, that sounds dumb.
It is dumb. Oh, I can sign in now. I think. Hold on, everyone. I'm going to see if I can log into the Twitch and change the name of the stream because we're not. This isn't Kyle's Souls discussion anymore.
Oh man, it's a couple of souls discussing stuff.
Ron and Kyle's Excellent Adventure. I don't know. Excellent. What, you've never seen Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
That's why I say that's not bad. That's a decent reference.
It's the only time
they're trying to work out Bill and Ted 3.
Why?
I don't know, man. But Keanu Reeves insists that they're trying to get Bill and Ted 3 going. It's like there's Ghostbusters. There's like the new Ghostbusters films that didn't need to happen and no one asked for, and then there's Bill and Ted 3. Like to get even more crazy as far as like, I don't know why you're trying to do this. I don't know why you seem to be trying so hard to do this in particular because nobody asked for it.
Okay, I can't. I actually can't edit the chat, or I can't edit this while we're streaming. So whatever. We're just gonna keep playing, and I'll change the archive name or something.
Yeah, archive will be titled correctly.
Things weren't working when we tried to start streaming, everyone. So that's why things are kind of borked. Well, that's why we couldn't. Whatchamacallit, title it the right, or moderate the chat, or anything. We had 5 viewers at one point, though. That's a record, right?
Yeah. Oh, hey, since we're two guys that are on it for some podcast, I should just mention that there's an Atlas sale going on right now on PSN, and you can get a bunch of Persona games, including a couple that aren't even that good, and just a bunch of general Atlas titles.
Yeah. Actually, there's a bunch of stuff on sale there.
Yeah. Yeah, Atlas has a sale, and then there's a PSN Flash sale happening right now. I think Axis still has a sale going on.
Yeah. Oops, I stood on this moving thing. Anyways, I actually have something special planned for S-Link's 2-year anniversary on what is it? It's the 30th. Sorry.
Yeah. So I've heard, and by heard I mean I saw the same tweet that everyone else saw.
Well, I can tell you what it is when we're off.
Okay.
I didn't mention it. Actually, I think no, I didn't mention it in our secret clubhouse thing, but I'll let you know soon.
I can't believe Twitter is not sharing their APIs with people anymore. That's dumb. Now my Tweetbot app that I paid, Kyle, I paid $3 for my iOS app that I use to keep track of the Twitters, and those guys don't have access to Twitter's new API for the group messaging. But the problem is that I'm entitled to that feature as a consumer.
You know what else it doesn't? I know what you're...
I'm going to take my concerns to Total Biscuit because I think that is a man for the people who will stand for what I deserve.
He is. Everyone else is pseudo-intellectual compared to him. But you know, what I really want for my games critique is some dude complaining about FOV sliders for 45 minutes. Very intellectual. Anyways, Rosin's here. I'm here because I rage quit fighting Bed of Chaos. Oh, Bed of Chaos! I love Bed of Chaos, and that's a boss in Dark Souls. Glad you joined us, Rosin. We're going to beat Resident Evil tonight. Maybe you'll see me get killed by Tyrant or something. Probably not. Tyrant's a scrub. But anyways, what was I saying? I don't even remember. Oh, actually, not just your app doesn't work with the new group messaging. Twitter's official iPad app doesn't even work with it.
What? That's weird. I had heard that it does.
It doesn't. I have the most recent version, and it does not work.
That's stupid. They should fix that.
Yeah, I can't. It's really irritating. Because actually, those group DMs are actually really awesome.
They're super useful. Honestly, I would think a feature like that, I would think you wouldn't even roll that out until you had it ready to go in an app update. I mean, people don't. A lot of people don't actually use Twitter from their desktop a whole hell of a lot. So
the only time I do is like if I'm at work.
Right, if they're at work, but usually you're. Usually with Twitter, like it's not exactly Foursquare, but half the time when you're tweeting something, you're usually like killing time somewhere, or you're tweeting about something that you're doing, or you know, I used to tweet on the bus all the time because it's the bus.
To kill the time. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. It's not fun. It's like I'm not gonna talk to like sweaty local guy that's sitting next to me because there's no more seats. I'm gonna tweet about, I don't know, some wicked anime. Instead I'm gonna feed you the people my impressions on the 26th episode of Sailor Moon. That's content with value.
So
Hey,
something something I want to point out while we're here is this is actually one of my favorite songs in a video game ever that's playing right now. So I'm gonna have to run to the washroom and get a drink. So I'm just gonna let this play for a second because it's brilliant. I'll be right back.
I'll be here. So yeah, that's the music playing. You guys can post things in the chat, and then I can respond to things in the chat because you know, I'm lonely, and I don't know. Yeah, no, we're waiting for Kyle. Uh, yeah, this music's pretty good. Resident Evil has some good music. I feel like every game has like one at least really calming theme. I haven't played Revelations 2 in a minute, and if we're watching my Revelation stream, I apologize for that. The reason being that the game is not very good. But I do like the music that plays when you do the raid mode and you're in the area where you pick your character and your loadout and all that stuff. That music is really calming.
All right, I'm back.
I actually do want to make a Resident Evil parking lot video, and for the casting, I'm gonna need somebody's gonna have to play Leon, and somebody's gonna have to play Salazar, and we're totally gonna do the whole your right hand comes off scene, and then we also got to get no thanks, bro. We got to get that in there also. Yeah.
You're nobody. I actually found that became aware of that video because Rosin in his stream linked it to me, and it was pretty amazing. That video is so white people it hurts. Like God, it's like so like those.
Man.
Imagine if those kids like put like all of that energy it took to choreograph a Kingdom Hearts like parking lot fight into like getting a girlfriend. Like, good God. Jesus Christ. It's so embarrassing.
Oh man, that whole thing is, that's classic.
Can't even
That is art.
You're a fool, Sora. Like, the part that makes me laugh the most is like, what the hell are they using to like fight with? It looks like
I think they're umbrellas, dude.
oh, are they?
I think
it
I
looks
think they're umbrellas with the covers over.
it looks like something with like duct tape and fabric over it. That's what I thought.
Or like baseball bats or something like that.
Yeah. That kid's pants, yeah, that one kid's he looked like he was wearing like Lulu's belt skirt, but like with two legs.
Oh man, they're saying Nomura says that those Lulu's belts actually do run in sequence, and he did that as a challenge to the modelers to render them that way and then consistently present them that way in all the cutscenes throughout the game.
Yeah, that's. Oh, so what games did Nomura work on?
Nomura's worked on most of their stuff since FF7. That's why he's always got a copyright on the title screen and stuff. Character design to see Nomura.
Who's the guy that I can't remember his name? Who's the guy that wrote 1 through 7 and then he got fired when he wrote the Spirits Within? Who's that guy? You know what I'm talking?
The screenwriter?
No, the guy that basically the creator of Final Fantasy, Sakaguchi.
Oh, Sakaguchi. Yeah, Sakaguchi was the creator. Yeah.
And then he wrote 1 through and directed 1 through 7, right?
He directed. He was a writer and a writer and director on 1 through 6, and he had a couple co-directors in there. Like I know, the other guy Katase was actually co-director on FF6. But yeah, he did writing on that stuff from like 1 through 6, and then he was he was a producer on 7 because 7 was the game that Yoshinori Kitase directed by himself after co-directing 6, and Kitase is the one that really had the vision for FF being this like cinematic thing going forward, and then Sakaguchi moved into more of a executive producer role, he was in charge of Spirits Within, and he did take the fall for that film. Yeah.
He got fired because of that, didn't he?
Yeah, I don't remember specifically if they fired him or if they let him go, but yeah, basically he departed the company. He basically took the fall for them losing like multiple hundreds of millions of dollars on that film.
That movie, you've never seen it, right?
I have not seen it. It was on Netflix for a time, and I never looked at it.
Don't watch it. It's bad.
I want to see it. I kind of want to see it just because.
Well, yeah, it's.
I mean, as a piece of history.
Well, I haven't seen it literally since like the theater, I think. Mm-hmm. And I remember just being so confused, like, or not confused, just so bored.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like Final Fantasy at all. It's like, we talk about how 14 obviously is an MMO, but it still feels very much like it feels like it's just a Final Fantasy game, but this one is an MMO.
No, yeah, totally.
But like fucking, what was I gonna say? Spirits Within is just. it just feels like nothing. I think Andrea had to point this out to me. The only thing that feels like